Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Nothing News. For those of you who have been here before, you know the drill. For those of you joining us for the first time, get ready for the mystical, the perplexing, the incalculable, the practically recondite adventure that is Nothing News. Humans of Earth, we bring breaking news on the Cephalopod Uprising that we opened your consciousness to last episode. In a new twist, it is believed we have found one of the masterminds behind this monstrous plan. Meet Jonathan. Jonathan is a tortoise. For those of you like this well-meaning girl who thought she was doing the world a favor by saving the turtle, tortoises, can't swim. Go back to school, people! Back to Jonathan. This tortoise is believed to be old. Like, older than your Candy Crush iPhone-wielding grandma. We're talking 180 years old. This guy has been plotting the takeover of the world for a long time. He is obviously in league with Inky the Octopus, who has the convenient ability of rounding up all ocean-dwelling cephalopods for a land attack led by Jonathan the Great. Think we're crazy? Watch this human having his mind controlled by the great beast into washing his shell. The end is near, folks. Make sure you subscribe so you get all the latest updates while our species struggle for survival on this rock we call home. The Kennewick Man is finally getting the burial he deserves after a decades-long debate comes to an end. The DNA analysis shows that the 9,000-year-old skeleton was in fact related to Native American tribes, as they have insisted since the skeleton was discovered in 1996. The hot controversy has left many Native Americans upset for the last 20 years when authorities refused to turn the skeleton over for proper burial by Native American customs. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has agreed to turn the body over as early as next February. Eski Willerslev, an evolutionary biologist in Copenhagen, stated, "The reason why we can come to this conclusion scientifically speaking is because the remains were kept out for science." What is happening? People, this is real news. We don't make things up here at Nothing News. We report the facts. Now, as world hunger, homelessness, and genocide pervade the world at large, we find people actually debating about a 9,000-year-old skeleton, who his cousins were, and why he deserves the burial of the millennia. Deep breaths, everyone. It's going to be okay. Meanwhile, Jonathan the Great and Inky the Octopus plot our very present and impending destruction. Priorities, people! Speaking of meaningful news, our in-studio correspondent Brad Hackett has a Nothing News notification. Brad?
Thank you, Zach. Our Nothing News notification is brought to you by Kramerica Industries. A local man reportedly broke into a church and popped just one balloon in a colored arch that was planned to be used in a special event this past Sunday. The pastor was unavailable for comment, but the youth pastor stated emphatically, "God forgives all sins, even those that should land people in prison." After the man purchased a bag of balloons from a Family Dollar, all charges were dropped. In a shocking move, local celebrity Amanda Lilly announced at a press conference this morning that her entire family will be going to the airport in separate vehicles. It is currently unknown why the family is making this bold move, but an unconfirmed report stated a vastly dynamic taste in music to be at the center of this dissension. Zach, I am now hearing that it seems to be a case of big fat Greek wedding. Good yogurt. This has been a Nothing News notification, notifying you on all the things you don't care about. Zach, back to you.
Thank you for the update, Brad. We will continue to monitor all of the noteworthy breaking news in our corner of the solar system and beyond. Speaking of the solar system, Japan is calling Hitomi their latest launch satellite, and oopsie daisy, A $273 million oopsie-daisy. Reports state that a basic engineering mistake could have set off a series of unfortunate events for this poor piece of space junk. First, its keep me pointed in the right way system screwed up when Hitomi passed the South Atlantic anomaly, exposing it to more radiation than normal. Next, the gyroscopes came into play to try to keep Hitomi on the right side of the road. Space road, that is. Unfortunately, the gyroscopes weren't working right either, so Hitomi started twirling like a ballerina. Embarrassed by its rather pathetic attempt at dancing, it fired a thruster to stop spinning and get it back on track. Problem? It fired the thruster in the wrong direction, prompting it to spin faster. Buzz, 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 Lightyear to the rescue. If that wasn't bad enough, the supersonic spinning broke off some solar panels, which means no power. Come on, guys! Who forgot to install the anti-radiation gyroscope malfunction reverse thrust protection software? Well, I hope they have insurance. And by them, I mean the Japanese civilians whose tax dollars paid for it. To wrap things up, we come to the most important story of the day. Is Jon Snow dead or not? Please, anyone with insider information, please call us. We need to know, America. And by the way, the fact that President Obama knows all of our nation's secrets, our troop movements, our nuclear launch codes, that's fine. I get it. He's the big guy, the head honcho, the kingpin. But seriously, Game of Thrones, he should have to wait like the rest of us. That brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thanks to our special news correspondent, Brad Hackett, our videographer, editor, and producer, Vinnie Clark, and our one sponsor, Cramerica Industries. I'm your host, Zach Ford, and this is Nothing News, reporting on everything you don't care about. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Nothing News. Check out the links in the description to our Twitter, Facebook, and WordPress pages. Subscribe. You might get a sneak peek into how our spectacular cover art was made, so click the button! Thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing!